Hello everybody, my name is Mihaela Hajduk and today I'm doing on my presentational speaking speech the non-verbal forms of communications, and the topic what I use today for the non-verbal forms of the communication is the hand gestures. There are many different of type of gestures, so we use every day in a normal speech, and that we even realize we do, such as like me doing this, I'm gesticulating with my hands. People use hand gestures to point things. We reference things with our hands along with our speech. They co-core with the speech. However, there are many times when the people you use the hand gestures that we don't go along with the speech, so they are not in a sync. In 1992, McNeil did a study on the hand gestures in Malaysia, and he was using speakers, and he found that the six speakers what he used, they all use the same type of hand gestures. So there are four main types of hand gestures. Well, first one is iconic, metaphoric, didactic, and beats. um, the first one is iconic, and references gestures um, that are used to represent something. So if I'm talking with you about driving and I'm doing this, you know I'm gonna drive my car, so it's no steering my wheels in my hands. But if I'm doing this, you know what I'm talking about. That means I'm driving my car. The next one is the metaphoric. The metaphoric gestures are similar with iconic gestures, except they depict on abstract concept. So if I'm talking to you about something, I'm encompassing something, I'm using my hands, I'm doing like this, so I'm encompassing something. So the gestures is reference to something else to describe something, what to do what they am doing. The third one is didactic. So the didactic gestures, they are referred to things indicating. So if I'm pointing to something, that means is a didactic. So if I'm talk about here and now to do something, I'm pointing, I'm gesturing, I'm referring, I'm like, now we have to do something, whatever we have the case we're gonna be. The fourth one is the beats. So the beats are gestures that are rhythmic movements, and they have no semantic connections to the speech. The speech what is the accompanied. They rather stress important words or phrases expressed. So if I excuse me, if I'm saying this have to happen today, I'm talking with people at work or I'm giving directions, I'm emphasizing something, but I'm not referring to something particularly such I was when I was driving. They are four characteristics. Um, there are four major characteristics of adult gestures at McNeil outline. Was gestures and speech often convey complementary aspects and underlining a message. And something interesting he found when he was doing his study in Malaysia. So he found that the right-handed speakers the majority of time when they starting a speech, they start using their right hand instead of the left hand. So, in conclusion, the hand gestures are forms of communication, such as like the words that we speak. We use them to convey something. So, if you are speaking to somebody who doesn't spoken the language, we try and get your point across. So with the hand gestures, so somebody doesn't understand English, for example, I'm working in a hospital and I have patients who doesn't speak English and I do not know their language, and if I'm doing like this and pointing like this, they understand. I asking them if they are hungry or if they are thirsty or stuff like that. So I'm using my hand gestures to communicate with them. So the hand gestures is a speech aid and is absolutely needed in a speech, and we try to communicate. This is all what I have today. I wish you everybody a good evening, and I will see you next week.